Hey everybody, this is Zach Rosen from the New Gay. I'm here in Washington, D.C. at the Black Cat with Chris Chu from the band Benders. He was nice enough to give us a couple minutes of his time. So we're just going to start off and have a little conversation.
Sounds good.
Chris, the first question I had for you is if the audience is not familiar with your new record, Big Echo, I would say that it's kind of almost leaps and bounds above your last album in terms of kind of depth and maturity. And I don't think you seem all that much older than me, necessarily. So I wanted to see what might have changed in your life or in your musical career between the two recordings.
People keep asking us that question and using that word maturity, which I guess makes sense from an outsider's perspective, but for me it's just, it felt a lot more just like we wanted to try something new. It wasn't necessarily like an evolution or something. It's more that even when I was writing the songs for the first album, I knew that when we did the second one, we wanted to kind of let go of all that and start completely fresh and do something different, just because I get bored, playing the same kind of songs or like the same sound. Like I don't like bands that really settle on a sound, I like bands that are artists that keep exploring stuff. So that was a big part of it, just a conscious decision to try something new.
Cool. And it's nice that you say that. Most artists say, I don't try to do anything when I write songs, which I don't always buy or go on.
We definitely care a lot about what we do and feel passionate about it. Cool. I think you don't see it enough in artists these days.
Yeah.
That's how I feel anyways.
In what way?
There's a lot of apathy and, in our culture. Not just in music, but all over. It's just kind of a hit to not really care that much about a lot of things. And, we do care. We care about a lot of things, and we really care about music, and we think that it's worthwhile. So
cool. Yeah. And you haven't lost any girl fans for?
I've actually been really impressed with our fans for like growing or following us on this path, because I do know that it is a departure from the first stuff, and even though there's elements that I think I'll always love about music, just melodies and certain kinds of music that I was raised on or whatever that are influences forever because they're ingrained. I do know that like Big Echo, for us anyways, it works really well on its subtleties and its nuances, and like that's for me what makes it interesting. So to see that all these people have put in enough time with it and really experienced the album and gone back to it and are getting it, it's really exciting.
And your blog darlings now too. The darlings of music blogs, I would say. Has that been a shock? It's not like they were talking shit on you before, but I feel like it's just,
It's weird. It's one of those things where we just put something out into the world and people took ownership of it, or had a personal connection to it, so they just started kind of telling their friends and putting it out there themselves, which is really special. I've never seen that happen for us. With anything else, like especially as a new band before, we're really just like, check this out, check this out. Like you just gotta be really gung ho when you're a new band, like trying to distinguish yourselves. But with this, we just like put out a couple songs and put up the video, and people just took to it. So.
The video for everyone is for the song Excuses. I see you're talking about. Yeah, which has about 80 people in the room recording together.
Like that.
How did that, I should ask you quickly how that came together. That video got a lot of attention.
That was basically, probably first off, we just wanted to get everyone together, do something special.
The people being
all our friends from San Francisco, and a lot of people in bands, and not necessarily all bands, but just friends and people of that community. That I said before, or someone asked me before about this, and it was cool to have everyone together because everyone sort of knew each other and had mutual friends, and like some were really good friends, but you never get all those people together in one place. And we did it during like Christmas, around the holidays, and it's like the one time where all the bands are back at home, because no one's on tour during the winter and stuff.
And everyone needs to get out of their parents' house.
Run
into the studio.
And it's just a great thing to have everyone there, and I guess the concept of it kind of evolved from there after the initial idea of just getting everyone together. When I thought about like what song to play and what to do, Excuses just jumped out because when I'd written it, like there's influence for that song of Phil Spector, which I've said before, and like kind of the 50s style of production and song. But when we did the recorded version, we actually, I think, put a lot of other takes on that. You know, it's not just the Phil Spector thing. There's more modern influences and a lot of different sounds, and there's program stuff and looped vocals and all this stuff you wouldn't find in the 50s. So the idea then for this performance that we do with all the friends was kind of strip that away and really just do like a pure organic version.
Well, that works out well if everyone's here, speaking of that song, Excuses also, is it, if anyone knew your last album, it was kind of, I guess when it talked about girls, it seemed more about crushes, and then this one's about sex. Was that also a decision?
Well, it's not just about sex.
Sorry, not just, but...
No, I think Excuses was my attempt to sort of, or it's kind of perfect as the first song after the first album, going into the second album.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was kind of scattered.
It happens.
Because the first album was so much of like a, almost just first-hand, you know, diary-like songwriting style, which, you know, you see a lot and sometimes it works really well. With the second album, we wanted to kind of look at it a little bigger from an outside perspective maybe, or more broad perspective. And Excuses was kind of trying to be a love song that wasn't about a specific thing, or that could be bigger, you know? And for me, the song's just about love in all its forms.
And licking someone's south.
What?
Isn't there something about licking someone's south end?
Yeah. So I mean, it starts out as like that's sort of what you know of love at first, you know, like the physical side, and then more the rest of the song is about kind of companionship, or then ultimate, you know, being with someone for a really long time, growing old with them, you know, what all those degrees of love and how it fits together.
Well, I'm sure none of our gay readers have any connection to the idea of physical love coming before emotional connection.
I think everyone has that.
Yeah, it's true. We
knowledge of love.
We like to claim it for ourselves, and it's not. And while we're on kind of throwing your topics, you can tell me to fuck off on this one, but while I have you, a lot of people, I want to talk about race in indie rock a little bit. Yeah, just a lot of people have this opinion that indie rock is just a white genre. Yeah. And obviously, you're not white.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Have you heard that criticism too?
I have heard that criticism, and I'm kind of surprised that less people than I would have thought have kind of focused on the fact that we are all, we're now 3/4 of us are Asian, or part Asian. But, you know, I've seen it in a few places, or like maybe an Asian-centric like publication or something will write something about us and say we're Asian, but besides that, people seem to neglect it, and it's kind of sad because it makes it seem like maybe they are trying to fit us into, you know, what's supposed to be indie rock, or what's standard for indie rock.
Right.
I mean, apart from that, me just kind of finding it curious or interesting, I don't really harp on that much.
Okay. But if someone did describe like Asian band Morning Benders, you wouldn't be offended?
Oh no, not at all.
I always feel like if someone doesn't say that I'm gay, they're assuming I'm straight, which is not true. Right. The same thing. Like, yeah, it's not this terrible thing to say.
Yeah, no, I try to just look at it for, you know, ideally people wouldn't be thinking about the things in those terms at all, so it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're not focusing on it, you know? Because if you're just writing about the music or something, then obviously I'm happy about that, because that's the point of everything.
Yeah. Okay. Probably nowhere else to go after that. Just glad we got to bring that up. It's yeah, cool. Everyone, Chris Chu from the Morning Benders.
Thanks.
Yeah. Cool.